One of my all-time favorite scud patterns during the high water months is the UV Scud. An orange scud is also an excellent crossover pattern for an egg, which can be effective both spring and fall. We'll begin our UV Scud by clamping a TMC 2457 into our vise. We're using 6/0 Danville orange thread. Our tail and our antenna will be formed from a piece of orange Zelon, which will run across the entire shank of the hook, protruding both from the bend and the eye of the hook. You can trim these to the desired length when the fly is complete. For ribbing, we'll use a piece of 4X tippet material. We'll tie that in so it extends out over the bend of the hook. To give this fly the crustacean look, we'll use a piece of Ziploc bag cut into a thin strip for the shell back. Scuds fish very well during higher flow regimens and are especially productive during low light conditions such as dawn or dusk. The body is made from UV dubbing. We'll dub the body loose as opposed to tight so that we can pull down legs. I'll advance the dubbing back towards the eye of the hook. And I'll do this in 2 phases. The first pass will be a light layer, and the second pass will add some additional dubbing to create a taper. This fly is tied backwards so the actual head of the shrimp is towards the bend of the hook, and the tail will be towards the eye. We'll develop the taper with additional dubbing, and then just graduate down to the eye of the hook. The next step will be pulling the shell back towards the eye and securing. Clip off the excess material. I would recommend that you put a whip finish or a half hitch upon completion of the shell back to keep the thread from falling off the eye of the hook. The next step will be to take your 4X monofilament and palmer the monofilament towards the eye of the hook for ribbing. Trim the monofilament off and whip finish. Next step is to use a gun brush or a piece of Velcro to pull down the legs. Scuds have 14 pairs of legs, which are critical to their swimming. Good tool to have, in addition to the gun brush, is a bodkin. It allows you to pull down the legs that may have gotten stuck up in the monofilament. And the final step will be trimming the legs with one cut across hook point and then going from hook point to the eye. And to trim the tail to length as well as the antenna. Over the years, the UV Scud has been one of my clutch patterns.